Unprotected sexual intercourse can happen to anyone, but what are the things that you need to do to reduce the risk of sexual transmitted infections and to prevent the occurrence of unwanted pregnancy? Good time, everybody. In this video, we want to be talking about steps that you need to take after having unprotected sexual intercourse to reduce the risk of sexual transmitted infections, also to prevent the occurrence of unwanted pregnancy. So before we jump into the video, maybe this is the first time you are watching our video on this platform, please, I would like you to support us by subscribing to this YouTube channel and the click notification bell so that you won't miss out on our subsequent videos. To the returning subscribers, thank you for supporting this educative YouTube channel. So now, without any further ado, let's get into details. Hello friends, welcome to International Medical TV. Like I said in the beginning of this video, today we'll be talking about steps that you need to be taken after having unprotected sex to prevent yourself from having unwanted pregnancy, also to reduce the risk of sexual transmitted infections. So the first one is taking emergency contraceptive. Emergency contraceptive is kind of birth control pills that can help to prevent the occurrence of unwanted pregnancy. There is various emergency contraceptive which include morning after pill and the copper IUD. The morning after pill it can be taken up to 72 hours after having the unprotected sexual intercourse, while the copper IUD can be inserted up to 5 days. It is important to know that you have to take emergency contraceptive as soon as possible. Also, it is important to know that emergency contraceptives, they are not 100% effective. So there might be a failure for you to be pregnant even if you take emergency contraceptive. The second step that you have to be taken after unprotected sexual intercourse is sexual transmitted infections testing. It is crucial to get tested after having unprotected sexual intercourse because sexual infections can be asymptomatic, meaning that it may not show any signs and symptoms to you at the beginning. Also, even the partner that you had unprotected sexual intercourse with him, it is not necessary to show any signs and symptoms in his body for you to know that that person he is having sexual transmitted infection. So that is why it is very important for you to get tested after having the unprotected sexual intercourse. Also, it is important to know that it is not 100% accurate for the test to detect infection, especially at the beginning. So that is why it is important for you to get tested after a few weeks of having the incident of the unprotected sexual intercourse. Next step to be taken after unprotected sexual intercourse is pregnancy testing. So after unprotected sexual intercourse, so there is chance for you to be pregnant, especially if it is during your fertile period. So during the pregnancy test, it can help to identify whether you are pregnant or not. Also, it is important to know that you have to do the test as soon as possible, ideally 2 to 3 weeks after unprotected sexual intercourse, so as to get accurate result of your pregnancy testing. The next step to be taken after unprotected sexual intercourse is talk to your partner. So you have to communicate with your partner so that you can decide about which kind of contraceptive that you can choose in the future to prevent yourself from having a sexual transmitted infections and unwanted pregnancy. Also, taking with your partner can give you confidence about your sexual health and overall health. That is why communicating with your partner is very important. Because, some people, once they had an unprotected sexual intercourse with you, they will just forget about you. And if they forget about you, so you might be thinking that whether this person is having a sexual transmitted infections or not. But if you are doing communicating with the person that you had an unprotected sexual intercourse with him, so the person will give you confidence about your overall health and your sexual health. The last step to be taken after unprotected sexual intercourse is preventive measures for the next time. So it is important to talk about the preventive measures that you have to be doing after unprotected sexual intercourse for the future. Also, there is various contraceptive for you from condom to hormonal method. Also, there is even diaphragm that can help to prevent occurrence of the unwanted pregnancy, and it will help you to reduce the risk of sexual transmitted infection. Also, it is important to choose the contraceptives that work for you and your partner. So it is important to take any kind of contraceptive as soon as possible after having the incident of the unprotected sexual intercourse. Having unprotected sexual intercourse can be very challenging, but it is important to know that your sexual health and your overall health, it matters a lot. by doing pregnancy tests, by doing STI tests, by doing communicating with their partner, also by taking preventive measures for the future. If you have unprotected sexual intercourse, it can help to prevent unwanted pregnancy. Also, it can help to reduce the risk of sexual transmitted infections. So here we have come to the end of this video. If you found this video educative and helpful, so make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel and like this video and comment it and share it to your family and friends. See you in the next video. Have a nice time. Bye.